Good to see you, everyone. My name is Robbie Howell. Let's talk lava. So what is lava exactly? Well, Lava Games, stands for Live Action Vocal Acting Games. It's a new style of interactive fantasy gaming that I've been developing over a large portion of my life, and am now trying to push out into the greater world and share with the rest of you. So what makes Lava different from other types of games exactly? Well, quite simply put, Lava games are entirely contained to the voice and the imagination. We don't use dice, we don't use boards, we don't use playing pieces, but Lava games are very intricately mechanical nonetheless, while also being incredibly story-driven, immersive, and engaging. It's a pretty bold claim, I know, so let's see if I can back it up. In a Lava game, the host, the conduit we call it, the equivalent of a GM or facilitator from other games, has three main roles that they need to accomplish in order to make the game work. First of all, a conduit's job is to describe to their players what is going on in the world. You're effectively acting as a conduit for your players' characters' sensory organs within the world of the game. What do they see? What do they smell? What do they hear? Now, on the player's side, their job is to direct the conduit's attention to the sort of things that their characters are looking to find out. The player should ask the conduit, what do I hear over there? What do I see over here? What does this smell like? Etc., etc. In this way, it's kind of a collaborative process between player and conduit to build up the world of the game by talking and interacting with each other in a way that manages to be crisp and concise and just get across the information that both people want to make sure they know. A conduit's second job is to act as the NPCs that their players' characters encounter. So what do I mean by that? I mean that when, for example, one of your players meets a little old woman on the street, what you do is you put on that little old woman's voice, you try to take on her aspect, her persona, and you dialogue with your player while they're also in character. They say to you, excuse me, ma'am, could you direct me to the marketplace, please? And then you say, as that little old woman,
oh, of course. It's just 2 blocks up yonder. Be careful, we've had quite a nasty season for pickpockets recently.
So as you can see, you're trying to make this, how would I describe it? You're trying to make it feel more real. Feel like you're trying to help your players feel like they're talking to a person in the game, which allows it to be more immersive. Now, to contrast, of course, the player also has a responsibility in this. They're supposed to try to talk in character as well. So rather than saying, I say, look out, you should encourage them to say, look out, or something along those lines, allowing Lava games to, again, tap into that side of people where their imagination can make the world of the game feel so much more real by participating in it. You know what I mean? Now, a conduit's third role is a little trickier, and that's resolving calls. Now, as mentioned, Lava games don't use dice or similar systems to resolve, for example, combat or an obstacle that you encounter. Instead, it's up to the player to describe how they want to do something. For example, they encounter a locked door. The player's like, I want to get through this door. You say to them, well, how do you want to do that? Now, they have a bunch of options here, of course, but let's say their character is particularly brawny. I'm going to bust down this door. All right, I see. How do you want to do that? They think about it. All right, I'm going to take a bunch of steps back and I'm going to run at its shoulder first. And then from that position, your job as the conduit is to say, all right, does this work? Now, in a game like Enclave, of course, we have stats, which, of course, aren't used like dice or like hard numbers. They're rules of thumb. And based on your player's, for example, might stat, you can say, all right, yeah, that works. Door crunches down. You manage to bust through. You land on your side with wood splinters all around you, but you did it. Or you might say, no, you don't really have the strength that you bounce off, horribly bruising your shoulder and issue out an unintentional grunt of pain. But either way, it is the conduit's job to say what works and what doesn't, while prompting their players to really get into depth on how they want to try to perform such actions. But on top of all that, lava games are, at their core, meant to be a way for people to be sucked into a wonderful fantasy world that they feel like they've contributed to building. So that should about sum up lava in a nutshell. In our next video that we're hoping to release, we're going to be doing a gameplay demo of Enclave. Very simplified, of course, but it should give you a little bit more of an idea of what lava looks like in action if you're still having trouble visualizing it. In the meantime, I'd love to answer any questions that you guys might have about how lava works, as well as maybe learn a little bit more about how better I can learn to communicate in a concise manner exactly how the system differs from others that are out there right now. But until we get to that point, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Robbie Howell. This is Lava. Ciao for now, everyone.